The sun was setting over the small town of Eastfield, casting long shadows across the streets and turning the sky a brilliant shade of orange. The National Guard Outpost stood on the outskirts of town, a sturdy structure that had weathered decades of storms and the occasional protest. Tonight, however, it would face a different kind of challenge. Jackson "Jax" Monroe, a sergeant in the National Guard, had just finished a grueling day of training exercises. A former Marine with tours in Afghanistan and Iraq, Jax was known for his no-nonsense attitude and unyielding discipline. He had seen his fair share of conflict and wasn't one to back down from a challenge. He was in the outpost's gym, working out his frustrations on a punching bag, when the sound of roaring engines reached his ears. Outside, a group of bikers rolled into the parking lot, their motorcycles rumbling like a pack of angry wolves. They were members of the Iron Serpents, a notorious biker gang known for their lawlessness and intimidation tactics. At the front of the pack was their leader, Razor, a hulking figure with tattoos covering his arms and a wild look in his eyes. Razor and his gang had come to the outpost with a mission. They had a score to settle with the guard after a recent crackdown on their illicit activities. They believed that storming the outpost would send a message that the Iron Serpents were not to be trifled with. What they didn't anticipate was encountering someone like Jax. The bikers dismounted and approached the main gate, where they were met by a young, nervous guard named Private Harris. "You can't be here," Harris stammered, trying to summon the courage to stand his ground. Razor sneered and pushed Harris aside effortlessly. "Out of the way, kid. We're here to have a little chat with your bosses." Before things could escalate, Jax stepped out of the gym, wiping sweat from his brow. His piercing blue eyes assessed the situation in an instant. He saw the fear in Harris's eyes and the menace in the bikers. Without hesitation, Jax walked straight towards Razor and his gang. "Evening, gentlemen," Jax said calmly. "What seems to be the problem?" Razor turned to face Jax, his expression a mix of surprise and amusement. "And who are you supposed to be?" "I'm Sergeant Monroe." "And you're trespassing on government property," Jax replied, his voice steady. Razor chuckled darkly. "You must be new around here. We run this town, not your little outpost." Jax didn't flinch. "Is that so? Well, let me tell you something. I've faced insurgents with more backbone than you lot. If you want to take on this outpost, you're going to have to go through me." A tense silence followed. The bikers, unsure of how to respond to Jax's unwavering confidence, exchanged uneasy glances. Razor, however, wasn't one to back down easily. He took a step forward, towering over Jax. "Big talk for a soldier boy," Razor growled. "Let's see if you can back it up." In a flash, Razor swung a punch at Jax. But Jax was faster. He dodged the blow and countered with a precise strike to Razor's midsection, knocking the wind out of him. The bikers rushed to back up their leader, but Jax moved like a whirlwind, his military training kicking in. It was over in minutes. Jax disarmed and incapacitated each of the bikers with calculated efficiency. By the time the dust settled, Razor and his gang were on the ground, groaning in pain. Private Harris, who had watched the whole confrontation in awe, finally found his voice. "Sarge, that was incredible." Jax nodded, his expression serious. "Call the local police. Have them take these guys into custody." As the bikers were rounded up and the authorities arrived, Jax turned to Harris. "Remember, it's not about being the toughest. It's about standing up for what's right and protecting those who can't protect themselves." Harris nodded, a newfound respect in his eyes. "Yes, sir." That night, word spread through Eastfield about the soldier who stood up to the Iron Serpents. The National Guard Outpost, once a target of the gang's ire, became a symbol of resilience and strength. And Jax Monroe, the unyielding sergeant, became a local hero, reminding everyone that sometimes the right person in